Hello and welcome to the yet next episode with Joe from Thirdweb. Hey Joe, great to see you again. Um, if you missed the previous episode, it was about the Connect components of Thirdweb, and naturally we're gonna jump into next part, which is account abstraction. So, Joe, floor is yours.
Thank you very much. For those of you, again, who are coming in mid-series, I'm Joe. I am from the Thirdweb. I'm a solutions engineer here, helping you all make the best of your toolkits to build the best applications here on Etherlink. So if you haven't already, we highly recommend looking into the previous sessions. They're super short, super easy to digest. And before coming into this, not a requirement, but it is helpful in context. So as always, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you all. One second here. And today's topic is account abstraction. If you're a veteran of Web3, you might know what this is. If not, don't worry. We'll go through it. We'll talk a little bit about what it is, some of the cool things you can do with account abstraction, and some of the even latest tech upgrades that have come through with AA. So let's get started. Again, I'm with Thirdweb, and today, what is account abstraction? Right, we're talking about AA. You might have heard it. In your dealings with Web3, you might have picked up a few pieces of it here and there, but in general, what is it? What does it mean when we say account abstraction? And this is it, right? This is an image that we like to show and say, this is account abstraction. You can tell it's pretty convoluted. There's a lot of steps here. There's a lot of pieces. And Thirdweb aims to simplify this, right? We've done a really great job at abstracting away this underlying layer. So you can see things like, hey, users come in, they do some operations, it goes into some sort of pool. All these transactions are then bundled together, sent over into a contract. That contract works and starts doing things like validation, executions. There's a paymaster involved, there's a smart wallet involved. You have your regular user EOA wallets, you have a smart wallet at the end, two different addresses, right? It's like really, really kind of convoluted, a lot of steps, and it can be very confusing. There is absolutely a ton of people who might look at this, get a little bit fearful because guess what? This is a lot of steps. So when I first saw this, even I was like, whoa, what? Okay, account abstraction sounds cool, right? This idea of your wallets have wallets, but understanding can be difficult. So how do we simplify this? How do we minimize it? And what are the benefits, right? I look at this, what is it like? Okay, I might have a simple understanding of account abstraction now. So if I think about it, what is account abstraction? In other terms, you might have heard of it as 4337, right? And at its core, you can think of it as, hey, this is something that uses smart contracts, right? Account abstraction is an Ethereum update that uses smart contracts. Okay, cool. I understand smart contracts. I get it. Cool. How does it use these smart contracts? What does it mean? So this is an alternative identity method on chain in terms of our connect component. So in the last session, we walked through a little bit of connect. You can actually connect users through smart accounts versus your traditional in-app wallets, EOAs that we mentioned earlier. So, okay, cool. It's a smart contract that has an alternative method for identity. Cool, right? We're good. What does this mean? It allows for the creation of smart accounts, again, which we talk about a little bit here, the EOA versus a smart account. Okay, so in general, account abstraction, also known as 4337 or now 7702. If you guys have been up to date, guess what? That's out. Petra upgrade. Yay, I'm so happy. And now that's even available through Thirdweb as well and you can use it in your apps. So again, account abstraction, what is it? 4337 or 7702 is simply it's just a smart contract that allows for smart account creation. Ah, okay. Now that's a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier than this jumble, right? So what again as we kind of dive into some of these concepts, right? So okay, I know it's a smart contract and I know that it's creating these smart accounts. What's a smart account? What does it mean? So this is just you're creating non-custodial wallets as a programmable smart contract. Cool. All right, I know what a wallet is. I know what custody means, right? It's either I own it, non-custodial, either I own it, or if it is custodial, the service owns it, right? So with account abstraction, you can do user-owned wallets as smart contracts. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And so why would I want it? How does it help? And so with AA, you can do a lot of cool things. You can do things like recovery options. You can build out your wallet UI with custom transactions that might not necessarily be handled with current EOA wallets, right? Believe it or not, EOA wallets have some rulings and some sort of configs that you might have to adhere to for any of your transactions. And with a smart wallet, these are based on smart contracts, so you can build out your own rules. You can build out your own functions that you guys want your users to abide by. And so AA and smart accounts can really help with that flexibility as you build out your wallets. They can do a lot of cool things like gas sponsorships. Probably the most popular reason why people use AA is sponsoring gas on behalf of users so they don't have to load up on funds before transacting. Right? Really, really cool feature. You can do things like session keys. Maybe you want to add admin addresses that can transact on behalf of these wallets or kick off transactions for these wallets. Admin access is a really big deal in things like the gaming space. Users come in, interact with your game, and you might want to have a backend admin kick off a point redeeming system, right, as they reach certain levels, things like that. And of course, as you saw earlier in that image, we can batch transactions. So if you have a certain set of like maybe mint and transfers that happen regularly, it can get expensive, right? Those are two separate transactions. But with AA, you can actually put them into a single transaction, send them off. You save money. Your users have a clean user experience. They don't have to sign two separate transactions. It's a single transaction, which makes it even easier for them to continue on your app and reduce that bounce rate. So as you guys build your app, you know keeping your users in your ecosystem is the most important thing. And the AA is one great tool you can use to do just that. And so, as we look at it, we do see things like, hey, we can offer seamless UX with AA instead of having pop ups every single time a user wants to do a transaction, sign in, all of this cool stuff. All of that can be abstracted away through AA. And this means a couple things. No more lost seed phrases. Seed phrases are kind of a pain for any Web2 user, right? They might not understand why they have to remember this 12 to 14 different phrase pattern, and why they have to keep it into not only a digital safe but also a lockbox at their local bank, right? Because if that's gone, then your entire account's gone. AA, that's not needed anymore. You can absolutely do things like linking social logins or other accounts. So for account recovery, you don't need no more need for gas to transact. You guys can have your users come in your app and start clicking, start playing around with it without seeing that dreaded not enough gas for this transaction, right? I know we've all seen that error here pop up in our MetaMask where you say you don't have enough funds for the gas, and it's a very defeated feeling sometimes. It makes you want to just leave these apps. Guess what? You don't really need that anymore with AA. And finally, no more pop-ups in your apps. So it can be annoying. Signing transactions is cool. It helps us understand that we are the users who are kicking off these transactions. But to a Web2 native, this is annoying, right? Imagine you guys in the early days of the internet when we're surfing I mean, I'm kind of dating myself here, but in the early days of the internet, when I'm surfing before ad blocker, before pop-up blocker, ads and pop-ups were a common thing, and this was really annoying, right? So I don't think I could ever go back to an internet world without ad block, right? And this is a very similar kind of thought process with wallets. Eventually, you're going to want users not have to worry about these pop-ups, and so this is a great way to do that. And so again, try it now, right? If you are coming from our previous sessions, you know about our playground. And so here I'm actually going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit on our playground here with AA. Let me share my screen. There we go. And so again, this is a really great place if you are familiar with our playground. No credit card, no account required. You can come in, click the links to see how everything works without fear of breaking anything. And so when you come in, click that link, you're going to see this screen. On the left-hand side, you're going to see a little bit of a code snippet. On the right, you're going to see exactly what you get in your app if you were to copy and paste this code snippet. So a couple things when we talk about smart accounts. It is one already supported in our Connect components. So if you are coming from our Connect session that we did earlier, this is that same component that we've been talking about and working with. And very simply, to turn on account abstraction, all we do is specify our chain, which in this case is the glorious Etherlink, and sponsor gas, yes or no. You can absolutely have account abstraction without sponsoring gas. That is totally valid and sometimes a preferred method depending on your architecture. So you don't always have to sponsor gas in order to utilize account abstraction. Just remember, it's an additional tool for you all. And so what does it look like? What does that user flow look like? I'm actually just going to go ahead and connect. I'll do my Gmail account here. And we're going to go ahead and have this. Boom. We're connected in. Now, how do I know it's a smart account? If I were to click on this, our wallet, we can see this little icon here. It's a shield icon. And that's how we know it's a smart account versus an EOA wallet. If we had connected in through MetaMask, you'd see a little MetaMask icon. If Gmail, you'd see a little Gmail icon here. And so that's how we can tell it's a smart account. A couple of other different ways we can tell is if I were to start transacting, if you can see here, I have no funds in this wallet. But because I've set sponsor gas to true, any transactions I kick off are now sponsored on my behalf. So as long as I'm not buying anything for a certain currency or in a transaction where I have to send a value over with it, the transaction will work, right? Gas will be paid for on my behalf through Thirdweb and through the account owner. And then I'm good to go with the rest of the application. So really simple. As you saw, it took 2 seconds. All I had to do was add one line of code and I'm starting to use account abstraction. Really, really handy. And so again, all of this can be done headlessly with our own UIs. And something I want to talk about here is the latest and greatest 7702, right? So if you are a Web3 native, you know things like 4337 is the traditional. It's kind of what we used here earlier before. And you can even see an example here on how that looks like with minting. It takes a little bit. We have a post out there. I think it said it takes like 20 to 25 seconds on it. And now we have the opportunity for 7702. What does this mean? This means that you guys no longer have to create smart accounts. And today, right now, if you were to go into Thirdweb and you were to select your Wallet Connect component and you want to go through smart accounts, you can absolutely say, hey, I want my execution mode to be 7702 instead of the old 4337. And you get faster account abstraction, you get faster transaction times, and you get easier to manage wallets. So no longer are they two separate wallet addresses. It's a single wallet address for your account. And so if I were to come in, I'll sign in through my Gmail again. You can see my account with 7702. You notice it's different than my 4337, and that's to be expected. But now, if I were to mint this thing, I can go ahead and click mint. It should take, on average, about 5 to 6 seconds, and there it is. It's minted, right? On my account, I didn't have any gas. You can see 0 ETH is on here, and we are transacting on chain. This is an actual transaction. I can check on the Explorer. And 7702 account abstraction, again, is today supported on Thirdweb. And you guys can use it in your applications. For anyone who might still be on 4337, guess what? You're still good to go. You don't have to do any migrations. For any chain that's still on 4337, you still work with it. You have all the support on both fields, and you can start using AA to build the best apps of your business, of your projects
on Etherlink too, because we stay up to date. We expect the upgrade very soon. I think next week. So once this is published, it's there. So
yep, automatically.
Yeah, automatically. Cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for smart accounts. Again, we have native ZK Sync stuff as well, but because we're on Etherlink, we don't really need to worry about that. So, guys, thank you very much today for walking through what AA is and how we can use it through Thirdweb on Etherlink. Stay tuned for that upgrade because it is such a game changer. It is wild to see how much faster this AA is on these transactions. It is so crazy. Like if you do speed tests, I encourage everyone do speed tests. It's so cool to see.
Very, very, let's say, huge satisfaction factor is there. All right.
Yes.
Great stuff. Thank you so much, Joe. And maybe we can actually tease for the next episode, which would be about...
Yeah, let's do engine. We've talked about our front end. Now let's do our back end. Let's start getting a little bit messy with our back end API endpoints. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
All right, can't wait. Probably the next episode is linked somewhere here. So feel free to click it and let's jump to the engine side. All right. See you, Joe. Bye.
Bye bye.